I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make when we talk about accountability is confusing it with shame. There's a huge difference between saying I did something wrong and saying there is something wrong with me. So when I say I did something wrong, I can look at what happened, understand why I behaved that way, and learn from it and change. But when I say there's something wrong with me, I've turned a behavior into my identity, and that is what shame does. And sometimes we think feeling terrible about ourselves proves that we are taking responsibility, but you can hate yourself for something you did and still repeat the same exact behavior. So, real accountability asks, what did I do? Why did I react that way? Was I afraid? Was I insecure? Was I jealous? Angry? Was my ego hurt? What effect did my behavior have on someone else? And what am I going to do differently next time? Right? Your attention also don't erase your impact. You can genuinely say, I didn't mean to hurt you, while also being able to say, I understand that I hurt you. And both can be real at the same time, right? And the same applies to our past when it comes to childhood wounds, traumas, previous relationships, abandonment. And experiences can explain why we develop certain patterns, but eventually the question has to change from why am I like this to what am I going to do about it? Your past can explain your behavior, but it doesn't have to excuse it without excusing it, right? Sometimes we inherit wounds we didn't create generationally, but if we don't deal with them, we can pass them on to people who didn't create them either, right? So accountability is more than an apology. If I keep apologizing for the same behavior, eventually the question isn't, am I sorry? It is, why does this keep happening? Right? So the real test is what happens the next time you're angry, afraid, rejected, triggered. Do you repeat the same pattern, or do you choose to respond differently? Accountability can also mean accepting consequences. You can apologize, change, and genuinely regret what happened. And somebody may still decide they don't want you in their life. You know, your growth doesn't obligate someone else to give you another chance. And accountability isn't about other people. It's, think about the promises you make to yourself. You said you would leave, but you stayed. You said you wouldn't go back, but then you did go back. You created a boundary and then you abandoned it when you felt lonely. So instead of saying to yourself, I am weak, you can ask yourself, why do I keep breaking the word, my word for myself, my promises? You can look at something that you've done and say, that wasn't okay, without saying, I'm not okay. You hear the difference. You can understand without excusing yourself. You can forgive yourself while still expecting to better. That is accountability without shame. And just being able to say, you know what, I did that. Yes, I was wrong. Yes, I do need to change. But instead of asking, how long should I punish myself for it? You can ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What is this going to teach me? All right? Accountability is not measured by how badly one feels about what we've done. It is measured by what we choose to do next. what we choose to do about it. So be kind to yourself, show yourself compassion, take time to reflect, take time to journal, ask yourself, what changes am I willing to make that is sustainable for me